let's just Hail Mary and just give it a go and try to get people to pay some Bitcoin.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I paid it, just in case the footage was of me,
Yeah,
just
no,
in case, you
same.
know, just to be
Same.
safe. Yeah.
It's too much of a risk.
I like to think that this person was legit, and once your partner was like, oh wait, they talk about porn, it's like instead of admitting that she watches porn, she's just like, yeah, Damien, you know what? Don't worry, it's a fake. Don't worry about it, Damien. It's all right. Just be cool. Just be cool.
Swear.
Yeah,
This is how
real.
this is how innocent my girlfriend is as well, right? Because we spoke about it again later in the day, and she didn't realize that the whole webcam portion of it was them recording you jacking the beanstalk, right? She just thought that they were going to leak information of the porn you've been looking at, and it's like, no, people wouldn't care about that. It's what you're doing with the porn is what that they're extorting you with.
It's like it's the camera angle of just like you just doing weird stuff, and it's probably not a flattering angle. It's probably more like this, like sort of on your lap, like we
Just
go.
with Tom is reenacting it right now with his webcam.
I'm doing camera angles. I'm doing camera angles that Steven Spielberg would be jealous of. Like I'm really
move. He's
Marcus, screen record it, and we can blackmail Tom with it because it just looks like it.
No, don't worry. Someone's recording my webcam. They're recording my webcam right now, I'm sure.
I wanted to ask you guys, let's say if someone did legitimately have footage of you celebrating Palm Sunday, let's call it that. What do you think is the most you would pay? Like, at what point do you think you'd be like, you know what, this is too much money. I'm going to let people see me engaged in hand-to-gland combat. I don't care.
Honestly, I don't care for a lot of it. But would I pay to keep it off the internet? Yeah, I would. But how much? Up to $500 maybe? At that
Really?
most. At most, yeah. I mean, I don't want people seeing me doing that, but like what Tom was showcasing, I don't think you're going to be seeing much. So
what if Marcus Jr. is in the video? Does that increase the price?
Well, you mean mini me?
Yes.
Yeah, that would no. Yes and
it's
no.
It's a tough one.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
a tough one.
I understand because obviously you don't want to be vulnerable like that, and you don't want to be. And it's one of those things like you could tell everyone like it's completely normal. It's something that like you were the victim here, so you shouldn't feel bad, and you shouldn't be embarrassed. But at the same time, you're just like people will judge no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the other thing I'm thinking of is who's typing in Marcus jacking off in the internet that they're going to look for it.
I mean, I check every day.
I can't imagine anybody besides you guys looking to see me doing the business. Nobody's looking for other guys jacking off on the internet. I'm sorry.
The thing that pisses me and Tom off is we've been looking for the last 15 years, and this is our El Dorado, our city of gold. We have still yet to find the treasure. But the person threatens because the idea is like they've got your information, so they can leak it to your family, your friends. So they'd be sending it. Yes, they'd be sending it to everybody you know.
I mean,
to me, like I would probably pay, but also I'd feel inclined to pay because the repercussions of maybe it affect your work life, like maybe you lose your job or something because it's out there. I actually don't know.
You know what? I would not negotiate with terrorists because I don't think that's the right thing to do. But the other thing is like I know it's a scam in this sort of situation. So if anything,
totally.
I reckon you should like reply to this email with a dick pic and then just see what they do, and then be like, oh, gross. I don't want to see that. I just wanted his money, and like now I've actually got it, and it's like, what am I going to do with it? Because I don't actually have his address book. I was, you're calling their bluff, and you'd be like, oh yeah, you want it? I like this is how crazy I am. It's sort of like you're Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. You're like the cop that's like, I'm crazy. You want to see crazy?
That would be amazing. It was just you with like the email in hand, just staring at the camera, being like, I do not care. I am the one. You get all Heisenberg. I am the one who wanks. You understand?
This is wanking bad instead of breaking bad.
Yeah.
So in this person's situation, they share a bank account, and he wants to maybe separate their finances. I think that's a bad idea because the reason he's been aware of his wife's actions, which she's doing, is because they share that account. If he just gives her carte blanche to her own account, she's probably going to bleed herself dry, and he's got no way to monitor it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, he'll lose half his money that way instead of just properly educating her and keeping her on the ball and then saving everything. Because I think that's the thing. It's like you can fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you, whatever the phrase is. But the thing is, the more that she gets into these situations, I think the more she'll be educated, the more she'll realize like, I'm not going to get scammed again. Like we have a friend, Marcus, I think you were with him at the time, who you guys were out to lunch and a van pulled up and opened the door and they said, hey, do you want to buy a stereo system? And he said,
he did it.
Oh yeah. What do we talk about? And he ended up buying the stereo system, right? And he took it home and everything. And he's like, hey, Tom, I need you to help me set up this stereo system to test it out, make sure it works and stuff like that. And then he told me the situation. I'm like, I think you were scammed, dude. Like, you bought a stereo from, and he knew. And then he sort of pinned it on me. He's just like, well, this is what happens when you don't come to lunch with me and Marcus. Like, I get scammed and I buy a home theater system that is fake.
For a second, I thought you were going to say when the guy opened the van, he told your friend to get in. He's like, here's $100. He was like, yeah, sure, all right. I'm free.
Yeah, right.
I got time.
But see, I want to say, to be fair to this particular friend, he's also the kind of guy that knows when he's in on a good deal. For example, we went to Pizza Hut one day, all three of us, me, Tom, and this mate. And
so you're going to throw me under the bus now? Because like,
sort of,
all right, go on.
Sort of. Yes.
Let's hear this. I'm excited now.
Me and the other mate bought 2 pizzas, but there was 3 of us there. Tom didn't get a pizza this time. We get to the counter and we saw 3 pizzas there. And we're like, yep, we've already paid it. Yep, we're just going to take the pizzas and walk away. And Tom was like, no, wait, hold on. You guys only paid for 2 pizzas. And my mate was like, no, we ordered 3. Wait out the front. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure you said 2. I'm pretty sure it was 2 guys.
Yeah,
like, hang on, why are there 3?
Yeah, that was Tom. So he knows when a good deal is there too. Sometimes, he's read us off.
That's not really a good deal. Didn't Pizza Hut just make a mistake and you guys were going to steal an extra pizza?
Yeah, well, he's not honest. But who cares? He still took it.
It's not that he knows a good deal. It's just that I don't know when to be cool and shut my mouth. That's the real issue here.
True. Well, seeing as we're airing out some dirty laundry RA scammers, have you guys ever been scammed before?
I can't recall ever being scammed as such. Like in terms of, hey, we need your money or this money or whatever it is. But I recall one friend, and I think I've told this story before. We went to Macca's one night. There's different friends.
Is this the bird story?
Just talking about. Yeah, the bird story.
Is this the bird? You told this like 2 episodes ago.
All right, well, the bird story. I remember. My mate got scammed out of a parrot, all right? Anyway, that's the only scamming I know.
We'll save the audience from hearing that again.
You're like, the fucking bird story again.
Our audience is like, they're scamming us out of entertainment. They're just reusing stories now.
We're retelling the old stories.
The ultimate scam cast. I have to say, I don't think I've ever been scammed before as well. I think my first foray into the world of scamming was like when I started selling stuff on eBay. And like, I think the first thing I tried to sell was an iPod. And someone got in touch with me and be like, I'm interested in buying your iPod and I'm interested in buying it now, but I'll pay you this much and you need to send it here and I'm going to pay Western Union money transfer. And that's when I was sort of like, what is Western Union money transfer? What is this? Online shopping was very new. And then that was at the time when you look things up and it's like, do not use Western Union money transfer. It's one of those like, oh, okay. Is that's the first telltale signs that someone's trying to scam you. But I know someone who tried to buy a car from someone in another state, and they basically said, this is the price. You pay half now. We'll send it out to you. Once you get the car, you pay the other half. They paid half and the car never came. So they got scammed, unfortunately, for the price of like a second-hand Hyundai Getz or something.
They got their money. They got all their money.
Yeah, they gets it all. They get fucked up. They got fucked.
They got scammed.
The 2 that stand out for me is one that happened to me and one to a friend. This is in the early days of eBay before I think there was the PayPal safety net, where his mum bought a TV off eBay and turns out it was just a picture of the TV. They did not read the fine print of the actual listing. So it was literally just a picture of a TV rocking up. I don't know what the resolution was because I stopped being friends with that guy not long after, but that was pretty funny. But the most stressful one for me is, I guess it's not really a scam. Like, one of my accounts got hacked. But it was while I was at work. So when we're filming at our show, we kind of have downtime in between. And then somebody will be like, okay, we're going to start filming again in 3, 2, 1, right? So you put your phone down and you get back to business. So I was on my phone as that countdown was happening, and then I just saw an email pop up saying you've just spent like $1,000, and I was like, hang on, no, I'm working at the moment. I should be earning money, not losing money. So it was this horrible thing of us filming the show while me realizing I'd been hacked. And because I work on a game show, the worst part is all they do is talk about money. So like I'm hearing back contestants earning money while I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing all this money. So it was this stressful thing of like, yes, exactly. Please, someone yell cut, please yell cut. But that was just stressful because I was trying to deal with my money being like scammed out of my account while I couldn't do anything. I was working at the same time, which absolutely sucked.
Oh boy, that's got to be stressful, especially when you're stuck and you just can't do anything.
Yeah. All right, so
let's wrap it up for Fiefs.
Yes.
I got some advice.
Marcus is the money man. We're just talking about this. Give us your wisdom.
Money advice. Here. This is what you need to teach your partner in terms of dealing with scammers. No matter who calls you up and says, hey, you're in trouble. Let's say it's your phone bill. Let's say it's your bank account. Let's say whoever it is. They say, hey, you're out of money. You got to owe us this money, blah, blah, blah. Say, that's okay. I'm going to hang up now and call back your customer support line. And then they can tell me the exact same thing. You call them back on a number that's on their internet. Yeah. So if it's, let's say it's Telstra, whatever, like, cause that's what happened before with one of my family members. They said, oh, we're Telstra. We've noticed this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, just hang up and call back the Telstra number and ask them, hey, is this actually happening? And what happened was they called them up and they said, oh no, that's a scam. That don't do anything with those people anymore. That's what you need to teach people about scammers. You call them back.
Yeah.
This has been a public service announcement from the Money Messiah. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Well, I think that's good advice. World. Let's leave it there for that question then. I will go next with this one. This one is going to come from Death Row. Now, Marcus is familiar with Death Row because we used to play Death Row. It's basically a sports game, better than FIFA. They only made one of them, though. But it's basically a group of convicts playing, it's like a mix of martial arts and Frisbee and Quidditch, basically, is how I would describe it.
Oh, like Death Row? Because they're it's Death Row, but they're throwing a Frisbee. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Great game. I feel like they should just re-release it though, some sort of a remaster.
They really should.
Because I really
really should. Yeah.
So, okay, Death Row writes in, kid I bullied in high school is still bitter and now we work in the same office, so I'm not sure what to do to make him treat me with respect. I finally was able to leave my job at Taco Bell and got an office job. Unfortunately for me, on my first day, I was introduced to my coworker, Terry, and he was immediately angry when he saw me. I thought I'd never seen him before, so I was confused. Until he said something along the lines of, I remember you. You were a fucking dick to me in high school. Then I remembered him from years ago. Terry was in the chess club and me and the other jocks bullied him and his friends relentlessly. We broke his chessboard, threw his pieces in the toilet, called him names. One time even gave him a black eye. He was clearly pissed at me still. I tried telling him that it was years ago and that we were just kids, but he wouldn't listen. He was very rude, and since we have to work in the same office, we have to be able to tolerate each other. Any advice? Death Row.
I'm just going to put it out there. Death Row sounded like a piece of shit.
I'd agree with that.
He should be playing Death Frisbee. He should be on Death Row at the moment, this guy, by the sounds of it.
It's really like bad, right? He's aware that he was a dick in high school, and he's trying to say, why wouldn't you forget about it? And he's sort of surprised that the guy is holding a grudge at him when it sounds like he was pretty traumatized, by it. You know what I mean?
Do you know what makes it worse as well? He as a bully, he embodies that movie cliche when the person who was wronged by somebody, they finally they spend their whole life training up to get their revenge, and when they finally meet face to face with their nemesis doesn't remember them. It's I don't even they ruined their life, and I don't even remember you, which makes it so much worse. It's I was just one of the countless people you bullied then, I guess, if you don't remember who I am.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what this guy, Death Row, needs to understand is, for you, it was just he was just a footnote in your high school book, yeah? But for him, he was just you were his nemesis. You were the bane of his existence for
you were every
7 years.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's what he needs to come to grips with.
What really bothers me most about Death Row is the fact that he's self-aware that he said, me and the other jocks would do. He's basically called himself the jock. And I think that's when I'm you've definitely lost me now. You don't have my sympathy when you're just you're out of high school and you're still referring to yourself as the jock, you're part of the jocks. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here, bro.
It's also funny that, and that's a good point, Tom, he's framing it as if he's the victim in this question. He's like, oh, I finally got a new job. And guess what? The guy I traumatized throughout all of high school, he's my new co-worker. What are the odds? It's like, no, we feel sorry for the other guy, not for you.
Yeah. And he also mentions the fact that, like, I was a jock, he was in the chess club. Can I make it any more obvious?
I was a jock. He was a nerd.
Like, he's just like, well, those were our roles. Like, it was my job to make his life hell, and it was his job to take it. Like, he was basically saying that's who we were.
He was a nerdy boy.